Such a pleasure to be
Yasmine,
sitting down with you.
I feel like I've known you for 30 years. I always thought this girl is so smart and is so intelligent. You know, I can't wait to get to know her more, and we did. The front cover for me. I appreciate it.
Yes, that was a great cover. So many people in our region admire you a lot for so many reasons, for your success story and also for how courageous you are in what you believe in. You're passionate, and also people admire what a great father you are.
People say these things to me. It's an obligation for us to fight for our freedom. It's never been like I'm trying harder. This is normal for me. Since we were little kids, when we left Palestine, I was like, I think 9 days old.
Wow.
When we were refugees to Syria, from Syria to Lebanon, Lebanon to Tunisia, and then to America. We never had that hate toward the people who we brought into our home in Safed from Haifa 2 years prior. Yeah, they threw us out, but when I was 15 years old, I said, would you do it again? To my father, he said, yes, I'll do it again. If you see someone got hit with a car in the street, you don't go and ask them, what religion are you? You help, and then you move on with your life. I never had the hatred toward anyone. We lived our life in a safe environment with my father and mother in Tunis. He had the job before with the Voice of America, moved to America in 1964.
Your father never made you feel like a refugee,
No.
even though you were refugees from the beginning of your life, right?
He didn't want us to feel less fortunate. He was a very well-educated man. He did not want us to feel bad or think less of ourselves. He wanted us to move forward, get education. We had a hard time sometime in the past. I didn't feel it. I was 9 days old, and my mother carried me. She had 4 kids with her at the time, and then she had 4 more in Syria and Lebanon. We always felt loved by our parents and loved by people. My biggest problem was my Arabic. So I was leaving Tunis every year to go to Idlib to learn Arabic.
What age did you realize your history, since your parents didn't talk about it?
I knew where my mother came from. My mother was never able to go back after we became refugees from Palestine. You had no right of return. She had right of return to go to Nazareth because her parents from there. Her mother and father, she was born there. I was born in Nazareth at my great-grandfather, Dahir Omar Zaydani, who was at the time in the 18th century a ruler of the land of Galilee. And he ruled all of Palestine. That's why they make problems right now. They say, oh, there was never Arab ruler in the Arab world. That's not true at all, because they're trying to avoid the knowledge of Dahir al-Umar in the 18th century, who was autonomous. Autonomous means he was the only ruler in the land of Galilee, which is, at the time, land of Galilee was Blad al-Sham, which is Palestine, Lebanon, and Urdun.
So your grandfather ruled the entire area?
He ruled in several areas, from Haifa and Jaffa, from Safed, from Nazareth. His home was in Nazareth. Of course, his kids were rulers on all these areas, like Tabariyas, Khan Yunis, and all these places. So I still remember from the names that my mother was telling me.
Yeah.
Of course, I learned about it later on.
Yeah.
So I knew who my mother was. But his father was more of a religious personality from Safed. You know how they marry each other, from the best of this family to the best of this family. They're a beautiful couple. My parents, they got married in 1942. And they had my sister Ghada, then Raida, then Sana, and I was the first boy. In November, when we just became refugees 9 days later, because I was born at my mother's house. We came back to my father's house in Safed, and they would not let us in. The people who we took in 2.5 years earlier. My parents never made us hate anyone. They just kind of moved on.
Yeah,
and
that's incredible.
He did not want to talk to us about the problems they had. The only time I found out that my father came to Safed to open the doors for us. At the time they came, before my mother came with me and my sister, he came back from Haifa. We had a house in Haifa. We came to Safed and they closed the doors and they put him on a truck to Egypt. And we didn't see each other for a year and a half.
Oh my God.
We ended up in a refugee camp in Syria. My uncle, Mohamed Hadid, who was a doctor in the UNESCO, found my father, and he brought him to Syria.
So your mom didn't know where her husband was for a year and a half?
But they wouldn't let us talk about it because they didn't want us to feel there was something in our past that is negative. We just moved on.
But it's a big weight for them to carry.
My father got a job right away at the University of Damascus, and then he got a job with the Voice of America. They moved him from Lebanon to Tunisia. We got a Jordanian passport. At the time, we were refugees. Still carry my
refugee card?
My refugee card until today, yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I'm connected to it.
Oh my God.
That's me and my mother, and that's me and that's...
Mohamed Hadid's refugee card.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have ever guessed that you started as a refugee?
My father was an intellectual man. He was a writer, he was an editor, he was a translator. He was a man of letters. The King Faisal's translator in 1952 to the United Nations. He's a very powerful guy,
Yes.
but very calm. And there was a guy named Farhan Shubaylat. Farhan Shubaylat was the ambassador of Jordan to Tunis. Became best friends with my father. My father was that intellectual guy. Everybody wanted to talk to him politics. So they'll come play backgammon and they have food for my mother. My mother was an amazing cook. One day they were playing backgammon. That's how we got our first passport. So they were playing backgammon. I said, what are we playing for? He said, if you win 5 games, you come to the embassy and I'll give everybody passports.
Wow.
I was standing right there. I didn't even think about it. Who gives passports just because they're playing backgammon? And he said, okay, if I win, I want Mohammed to cook Palestinian dish for his family.
So your dad won?
My dad won, and we all, first time we had passports.
Was the Jordanian?
Jordanian passport.
Wow.
We never had any passports.
Was it easier back then to live with a refugee card?
Well, at the time we were in the Arab world.
So you could move within the Arab world.
Yeah, within the Arab world. And my father at the time also, he got a citizenship to America right away because he was working for the Voice of America, which is part of the USIA, United States Information Agency. So we were able to, all of us, 11 people.
So you moved together as a family.
And my sister already was in America because she went to school there. My father sent her 2 years prior.
Okay. And how old were you when you moved
15.
to the US? 15.
Yeah.
How did this move change your life?
Our transfer to America was very easy, but I wanted to get a job right away. We lived in Arlington, Virginia. We moved into this cute house, and I went to high school. I played soccer. I barely spoke English, but I learned very quickly. I got a scholarship to Duke University because kicking football soccer style. Then they threw me out. I was looking at a newspaper and it says white students needed for Shaw University player. Okay, it's scholarship available. I said, I'm going to drive there. So I got in my car and I drove to Shaw University, which is in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I drove around it and I couldn't find it. I saw a fire department. So I stopped by there and said, excuse me, why is all this wires around? And where's Shaw University? He said, oh, you're looking at it. I said, looking at where? He said, that's it. It looks like a jail.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I walked in. I was the only white guy there.
Okay.
I didn't care. I don't have that prejudice about people.
Yeah.
You want to give me a scholarship? So I walked in. We need a white person in the school to get federal funding. So I was that guy, one guy.
Yeah, so you were filling the quota.
I was filling the quota.
Yeah.
And from there, they allowed me to go to NC State. I went to MIT, and all this I went in from the back door. I never paid anything.
That's
I took all the
amazing.
classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people say, how did you go? How did you manage? I didn't. It just happened. These things kind of happen.
Maybe the good thing about being a refugee is somehow it taught you always to look for opportunities, to find solutions.
I didn't think I was a refugee.
You didn't?
No, I was
but
like,
do you think you had that instinct of survival, finding a way to always survive?
My father had other 4 daughters to put through schools at the time. So therefore, I was the guy who had to go fight for myself.
And you were the only son?
We had 3 sons.
3 sons, okay.
Yeah. Majid got a scholarship at the University of South Carolina. Everybody was established. I was just running around. I
Yeah.
was trying to make it on my own.
And you did. Where did you end up graduating from?
MIT.
MIT.
Yeah.
Amazing. What a legacy. After MIT, now the world is your oyster. What was your dream?
Well, that time there was Vietnam War was still going on. They were looking for one more patch of soldiers to go to Vietnam. And I thought I was trying to find a way to go away. My father got a job, the same job, but they moved him to the island of Rhodes in Greece. Okay, this summer I'm going to go to Greece. And I got a very big job with a gentleman from Florida. They wanted me to design a house for him. And he gave it to all the students in the class. And I won. And he was a billionaire. I designed it and he loved it. It was like outrageously crazy. He wants to live in a big way. Anything in my mind, I threw at that plan. Things from Italy, things from Morocco, wherever I lived around the world. I put all the stuff in, not knowing that he's going to love it. It was like mishmash. Nobody would do it today, but I did it. And he said, oh my God, suddenly he's in the world. And he gave me a lot of money. So I went and bought a house in Georgetown. I bought my mother a car. I bought her a fur coat, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
So
was that the first time you had a
I had money.
big check?
I had money.
Yeah.
So I got on the plane to go to Greece. While I was sitting there was 2 guys. One guy, his name is Michael Deeks. The other one is Vasilis Ladikos. So we're talking. So where are you going? I'm going to Rhodes. My father is there, my first time. The other guy said, where do you go? I said, I'm going to Rhodes as well. I said, well, what do you do? He said, I have a car dealership and I restore cars, classic cars, which I love. I said, that's great. I love cars. So we arrived there. I said, where are you going to go tonight? I said, we're going to go to Step by Step. I said, great. We went to Step by Step, which is this club. And there was a line 3-4 miles long, people waiting in line to get in. I got in, I'm looking around, people are smoking. I don't smoke, I don't drink. So everybody's smoking, drinking, dancing all at the same time like this. There's no room for anything. So I said to the guy, I said, look at all these people out there waiting in line for, let's open up a club. The next day, I went to look for a space. We opened up a club, became the largest, most successful club for 5 summers in a row, indoor, outdoor. It was the biggest club in Europe. So that was my
So every summer you were in Rhodes because of that?
For 4 months, yes.
Oh, wow, how fun.
But it was more fun.
Yeah.
And of course
it made good money as well.
Good money, yeah.
Okay.
So that's my jump into financial stability.
So you're doing this amazing club in Rhodes during the summer. What were you doing the rest of the year? Did you go back to Washington?
Yes, I'll go back. In 74, 75, I started working for a company, structural engineering and architectural design. So I started working on that. I used the money to buy a big piece of property in Washington, D.C. And I built my first building and residential buildings. Really, that's why I opened up a car lot because I wanted to still continue working with Michael Deeks, who had a beautiful shop in St. Albans. Will bring cars to America. And
so this is the Michael Deeks that you met on the plane to Rhodes?
Yes, we became friends.
Okay.
And then I started importing classic cars from him. And I opened up one and my friend was running it. And for me, it was a combination of love for cars and business. You know, it's something that takes me away from the daily work at engineering company and architectural company.
So it seems from what you're saying that you're a natural born entrepreneur that's driven by passion, by the things you enjoy.
I find moments that I can take advantage of. A lot of people don't. Even if I did not succeed in architectural design and engineering, I was doing with the cars. I also was doing still architectural design work. You know, it was not, at the time, was not a big money maker.
Yeah, but you enjoyed it.
I loved it because I'm also an artist. At the beginning, before even anything happened, I was painting, I was selling my paintings to my mother's friends. Of course, you know, hey, Mohamed, will buy that one for $55. So I was making money regardless of what.
Yeah.
Little things, but it's big money at the time when you are 11 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old. Yes.
But the love of art carried on to your architectural career.
Of course.
And that's probably what helped you become unique and successful, right?
My mind was artistic. When I told my father I want to be an artist, my father was a very kind man. He doesn't care. He said, why don't you put some engineering with it? And that's exactly what I did. I put engineering to be an architect. My architectural design was mostly visual. I would give ideas and have it done. Most of the stuff I did early stages were classic projects, even though I had some modern buildings in Washington, D.C., and I did many things, hotels, and even though cousin Zaha Hadid, she was total modern, but it took her a long time to actually establish herself.
I didn't realize she's your cousin.
Because she always says that she's from Iraq.
Yeah.
The fact is her father, Mohamed Hadid, his name as well, he was born in Nazareth. He was Palestinian, but he was with the Ba'ath Party. At that time was a party that, there's a Syrian Ba'ath Party, Lebanese Ba'ath Party, and then Iraqi Ba'ath Party. And to be any of them, they give you a passport, and you have to say you're Iraqi Ba'ath Party. But her father was a Palestinian origin. She was a genius because her product is completely different than my product. My product is building for a person. I know his design, what he's in his mind, and I work with him. You know, when you build a hotel, you have to build it according to the 5-star hotel that you are bringing in to manage it. Like the Ritz-Carlton, they have specifics. You can't just build anything you want.
Yeah, the guidelines.
There's a guideline. There's a whole book of specifications.
Yeah.
So you have to work around that. So these are kind of things I can do. I can take an 18th, 17th century, 16th century building and I can copy similar to it in a modern way.
So that's what you became famous for, right?
Yes,
that's how your career developed. How did it come to the point where you moved to Beverly Hills? Because I feel like the move to California also started a whole new chapter in your life.
The market collapsed on me in 1990. I literally pretty much lost everything. I came here 1991, so I'm going to take a couple of years off.
You had enough money saved to do that?
Kind of. About 86, 87, 88, I started skiing. And I wanted to go to the Olympics, so I did. I went to the 1992 Olympics. I was the oldest Olympian, speed skiing.
Wow.
I thought, you know, if I die, I die. But I didn't die, and I didn't win either.
So for a few years, you were like a professional athlete.
Yes,
You stopped the architecture.
yes, stopped
Wow.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was thinking about my next move, but I didn't want to get into it.
That must have been fun.
It's a rush.
Yeah.
And makes you young. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm right now 77 years old. So at the
Mashallah.
time I was 43. I feel like young. All the people who play in speed skiing, 19 years old, you have to be either crazy completely or strong.
And
in the
at that
stomach.
time, were you already married with children?
I was married to Mary.
Uh-huh.
I had 2 children, Marielle and Alana. But they were living in Washington, D.C., and I started living here in Los Angeles.
Then I guess after the skiing, you decide to stay.
Start. I thought, how can I make money fast? Because my love is for architectural and design and building. It takes a long time. It's a 4-year process. How can I create fast money? I had a little bit left. I need to make big money if I want to go back to design and architectural and building buildings and so on. This town did not have luxury homes, large luxury homes.
Really?
No.
Wow.
They were small. 11,000 was like a big house. 15,000 was a huge castle. And I see there was money in this town and there are people coming. I wanted to build larger homes from 25,000 up. I made some money in the stock industry.
Stock exchange, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started buying small companies, invest with them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that became my business for 3 years. And I
Okay.
made a lot of money because I would take companies, they have the idea, they run out of money, they need one more push.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for that. Like whoever wants 500 to 700,000, they can come to me and I would invest.
What they call angel investors
Angel
now.
investors. They were all public companies.
Really?
Are on a small stock exchange. If they go up, I can sell them and make money quickly. And I succeeded in that. I became the guy to come to. I made a fortune. Took that money and I started buying land and building.
So you went back to your passion.
I went back to my passion, architectural design, building homes, and so on and so forth. So I did work here in Aspen, Colorado, in Mexico, and other places.
The new chapter of your life changed when your then wife started this reality show.
Yolanda Hadid.
Yeah, Yolanda,
Yeah,
Gigi and Bella's
yeah,
mom.
Yeah.
By being on that show, you became a public figure, right?
No, I was on different show with the Beverly Hills housewives. And I was public figure before. In 1979, I built the first hotel in Qatar. It looks like a pyramid. The Sheraton Doha was something I have designed for a company in California. And they called me because I was an Arab. They thought I could speak Arabic. And when they went there, they didn't want to stay there. It was nothing but desert. And there, I love the people. I decided I want to work with them and through that company. For me, it was just art. It wasn't about making money. I wanted to put my name out there.
Yeah, it was just getting back to your passion.
Back to my passion.
What's changed is you're also now a public figure on top of a successful architect and real estate developer.
My kids became famous as well. Gigi and Bella.
Yeah, how did that change your life?
It didn't.
It didn't. Interesting.
No, it didn't change my life. It changed their life.
Yeah.
The girls are very business oriented. Their mother is very strong, very beautiful, wonderful lady. And she is very also nurturing. So she nurtured these girls to be great girls. But I was there for them. And they knew they can come back home. I said, you need to make your own money. I don't know when my time is going to stop. And they did on their own.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. They're beautiful girls. They're proud Palestinians.
Whether you planned on it or not, you're all public figures now. And people around the world listen to what you say. So you've chosen to use your voice in such a powerful and courageous way. I know it's natural for you.
To all of them. My parents installed the Arabic. My kids, all of them, we used to go to my mother's house and eat food there, and they talk in Arabic. We are Palestinians. I never said I'm Jordanian, for example. Never. Even though I had the Jordan passport. I'm very grateful to the King Hussein at the time and Mr. Shubaylat for giving us the opportunity to have a passport that we can travel with. But we were always Palestinians. We always loved the idea that we are so special to be Palestinian. You have to have a specific and special personality to be Palestinian. We're on fire. My kids, they took that on as a flag, as a torch of honor, to walk around with the name Palestinian. They're not going to say they are from Holland.
Yeah.
They decided that's a very unusual plan, extinct. There's not that many of us, and we need to bring it to life. I always tell them, to be Palestinian is a jewel that no one else has. We are a couple million. And the people who don't talk yet, if they don't listen to you, they're not going to do it themselves. So my kids, Gigi and Bella, they started that whole thing. And of course, they want to kill us.
Even though you've been a proud Palestinian your whole life, in the last few years, it's become controversial
Yes.
to be Palestinian. And I'm sure that affects every part of your life and every part of their life, right?
Palestinians in Israel, they're afraid to say they are Palestinian or Arab because they have Israeli passport. I don't. I'm Palestinian. I'm proud of it. And I want my kids to be proud of it. I never told them they need to be. They on their own realize that being Palestinian is something very special. To go on a walk in Paris or Palestinian Bella Hadid, Palestinian Gigi Hadid, they didn't say they were Dutch.
Yeah.
And they could have, because they are proud of being that bright light for the Palestinian people.
Yes.
And it worked for them.
It really
and,
did.
And people have this idea that Palestinians are Bedouins or something. No, Palestinians, their biggest export in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s were education. They send educators to Kuwait, to Saudi
Yes.
Arabia. People need to know these things that happened with the Palestinians. They keep on saying, 700,000 left on their own. No, we were kicked out of our homes. And no, it's not 700,000. It was like 2.4 million because they never added the registration of the kids. Mm-hmm. So they were just the father and mother, or of anybody 17 years old or 16 years old. But it's really 2.4, 2.8 million people left Palestine. Like my mother, when we went, she had 4 kids. They were not registered. It's my mother and father.
It's an important part of history that hopefully now people are revisiting after everything that's happening
People
now.
start opening up that they are Palestinian.
Yeah.
I never heard before, I'm Palestinian, but I'm happy that they're waking up now.
You guys, you've given other Palestinians the courage to speak out and be proud of being Palestinian.
We don't want to take credit for it, but I hope that more of them. A friend of mine that's very famous on TikTok, he never said anything. So I said, the mother and father are directly descendants from Jerusalem. Their father and their mother, grandfather and grandmother, great-grandfather, great-grandmother. You should be proud of it. Jerusalem is an old city and a very important city for the whole world, not just for the Muslims, for the Christians, to the Jews. And suddenly he started coming out. And I sent him a little beautiful letter telling him how proud.
As somebody who's been very vocal for a long time, I'm sure you've faced a lot of challenges for being so outspoken.
It's worth it.
Nobody's been able to scare you, obviously.
No. When people see somebody scared, they scare them. I'm not. I walk the walk. I talk the talk. I don't care if somebody wants to kill me. Because for that, I get a lot of hate.
You do?
I hate that. I can walk down the street in Beverly Hills and people call me names. Anti-Semitic. I said, we are the Semites.
Yeah.
They're not. How can you call me anti-Semite when I'm a Semite? I challenge them that they don't know what they're talking about. And most of the people in the Zionist state are not Semite at all. They're all from European countries. I like to teach them as well. Not everybody, by the way, hates Palestinians or hate the Arabs. Some of the Jewish people are very smart and very kind, and they actually know the history and they know that they're wrong. But they have to kind of keep that together.
Do you think that you've been able, by using your platform, to change opinions, to educate about what's going on?
Slowly, yeah. I see people mention my name, like
That's
Candace
great.
Owens. She knows my story, and
Yeah.
she brings it up all the time. My story is very powerful, that we took in Jewish families in 46, when they kicked us out our home in 1948. And there's many families we know, the Khoury family, the Sabbagh family, which is a great big family in Safad and Haifa and so on. They kicked them out of their big, big homes.
You are able to use your platform in such a positive way during such a tragic time by making the Palestinian cause personal. When people know you, know your daughters, know what you had to go through to reach this success.
They know that my kids lost a lot of money.
Even with their fame?
They have contracts, long-term contracts. They lost some, but they gained some. What they gained is the love of the Palestinians and Arabs and people who care about them. They made their life easy, so it's not like a big deal. What it is, for me, I lost a lot of financial backing because mostly...
Was this after the October 7th?
Yeah. When all these things happened, October 7th, was already things that were boiling with the new government and the Zionist government. They started to play games with the Palestinians.
Yeah.
I side with my people, and everybody was coming after me for not supporting my friends who are Jewish? How come they can take their position and I can't take my position? From now on, I start feeling the pressure on my business. My business is fine. I don't care. I don't eat that much. I'm always smiling. I don't care. And I thank God I have my children are all doing well. So to me, all these things have no value. Money is not a currency that I will sell my soul.
But it's sad that it has taken financial toll.
Yes and no.
It shouldn't be.
I am proud to be who I am. I care less if I eat a shawarma or a steak. To me, it's the same.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't go out crazy. I used to have a lot of parties in the past. I don't need them. I
Yeah.
already did my party early. So now I'm just going to go to the parties.
You're at a good stage in life.
I would love to see my country do well, go back to normality. Hopefully some peace between all of us.
Is there anything left on your bucket list other than, inshallah, Palestinian freedom and prosperity that's left that you're wanting to do personally or professionally?
I built a mosque in Virginia in the 1990s, and I never saw it.
Really?
Because I buried my father the next day in 91. Then I left to come here. I never went back to see it. But it turned out to be a very successful mosque, hoping that I was going to do another one here, another mosque for the community. I called it there Dar al-Hijra. So I want to do another Dar al-Hijra, which is the house of refugees. Anybody can come, even with religion. If you want to pray to God, God is for everyone. I have affinity toward Islam. When I go to Egypt, I go to the mosque. I go see many major mu'allimeen, people who are really in
Sheikhs. Yeah.
And I love that. I love praying. I think it's an amazing feeling to pray before I die. I'll build something here in
That would be
California.
amazing. I'm sure you'll find a lot of support for that. There's one thing I just want to add, because I'm not sure people know this about you, but you actually are welcoming of all faiths. Because you're a proud Palestinian doesn't mean you're anti-Jewish or anti-any faith.
Never. I have some of the most unusual and great Jewish friends. They trust me. They are friends with me. They have this thing toward a country that represents them, and they feel that they have to side with them. But I understand that. And now my best friends for years, I had friends for 50, 60 years. My best friends were Jewish. And suddenly one day he says, I'm Zionist. And I said, is there something between me and Jew? He said, no. I said, then why are you telling me that? The facts are we're all the same. We come from the same area. We come from the land of all the religious. I was born across the street from where Jesus was conceived, with Dahir al-Umar Zaydani, in his palace. We know a lot about that. We took in refugees, and we never had a problem with that. I still don't. And I still love my Jewish friends.
Yeah.
They want to love me back, it's fine. If not,
But I think it's important to make it clear that just because you're pro-Palestinian doesn't mean you're anti-Jewish.
Absolutely
You can
not.
have an issue with the government's actions, but doesn't mean you're anti-Jewish.
Oh, absolutely not. My father always said, Judaism is a religion, is not Zionism. Even in Washington, D.C., I had a lot of Jewish friends. My mother would do kosher for them because I love them. They're my friends.
Yeah.
But now, they're teaching them to hate us.
Which is very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to change topics and have a little bit of fun. So this is called the Enigma questionnaire. What 5 words best describe you?
I'm simple. I love people, talented. I love my family and my friends. When I do things against other people's, they think it's courageous. To me, it's normal and natural.
Okay, so shall we say passionate then?
Passionate, yes.
Passionate. That's a good one. What are your most treasured qualities?
Kind.
What would you most like to change about yourself?
Nothing.
Okay, good answer. What qualities do you dislike in people?
Obnoxiousness.
And what qualities do you admire in people?
Kindness.
Who are your real life heroes?
My mother.
Aww. If there was a book written about your life, what would the title be?
Living well.
And if the book was turned into a movie, who would you like to play?
It could be like Omar Sharif, something like that. He was worldly,
Yes.
spoke a lot of languages.
Yes.
He was a womanizer.
Yeah.
All that is me.
What is the most important lesson life has taught you?
To be patient with people. Listen to them carefully. Understand their problem and help them. That's it.
What is your biggest regret?
I was never able to move back into Palestine and live a few years there because I feel that's a big loss.
Of course.
And I would have learned a lot from my country.
Were you ever able to go back?
I went back when I was in my 50s. I went to my old house and I cried when my parents lived and suffered. But I also went to where I was born because my uncles still have that home, the building there.
Alhamdulillah.
I went to the bed I was born in, which overlooks the church that my great-grandfather rebuilt where Jesus was conceived.
Wow.
Over the well.
And that was the last time
That
you've
was the
been
last
there.
time.
What keeps you up at night?
The safety for my children.
You
In-
do
in
get
this
worried about
world.
their safety?
Yeah, in this world, I have to. I worry about them.
So what makes you laugh?
I love joking. I don't take myself seriously. If I can't talk, I find somebody else talk on my behalf. I'm very light and I'm very quick on my feet. I always had, not as much in the last 3 years, but I used to love to laugh. I love to joke. I love to have fun. But it's very difficult to kind of do all these while others in pain.
On an ideal day when you feel good and you're happy, what is a day in the life of Mohamed Hadid?
Long walk, drawing, conversations with my sisters. I have one in Jordan and I have one in Washington, D.C. So I speak to them almost on a daily basis. I want to keep that family together.
Yeah.
I just went to see my brother in Rhodes, on the Arab Roads. He's building a project, so I want to help him. I like to help people with their project. I went to see my friend Hassan in Egypt.
Yes, I saw that.
He's
Yeah.
building a project. I helped him with that. He's lovely.
And what is your proudest moment?
Truthfully, every single child of mine is a proud moment because they all have grown up to be great people, great kids, great Arabs, great Palestinians, great spokesmen and spokeswomen. I'm very proud of all of them. And that's why I feel so blessed to have such kids that came up on their own without my help. Maybe I was there for them, but they have created themselves on their own and they have to. And I teach everyone that if you want something to happen, you have to do it yourself. Don't ask for help. My kids, their kindness and the way they treat people around them is what got them where they are. Because they treat the person who does their fingernails and the person who does their hair and makeup just like the manager and the
Client. Yeah, yeah.
They do it all the time, and I hear it. My God, your kids are so sweet and so nice. We want to work with them. So they're always looking forward to working with my kids. Alana is a great speaker. Now she has Watermelon Pictures, which is
A film
excelling
company.
film
Yeah.
company. And she's doing really well with it.
That's
and
great.
I love that she has that ability to pivot and do things completely opposite to what she was doing before because it helps her people.
You are like the most famous Palestinians in the world.
I don't know about that.
No, the Hadid family, I think everybody around the world now.
They have all done well, and that's why they treat us this way because we're not obnoxious. We don't take ourselves that seriously, but we just carry the flags.
You carry the flag in the most positive and beautiful way without being aggressive, and it's making a huge difference. So I
know
hope you
what
know
I found
that.
out in your function. You know how many people came to me to tell me they are Palestinian, they never said it? Many people say, I am Palestinian. My father and mother is Palestinian. Nobody's ever done that before. Nobody ever last 4 or 5 years. They never came to me personally. Suddenly they are proud to be Palestinian.
That's
and I
great.
think everyone should be proud to be Egyptian, proud to be Lebanese. All these countries are one, really. We are all good people. We should be very proud of who we are.
Yes, well, that's what our event is all about, celebrating
And you did.
Arab
And you
culture
did,
and
but
success
the funny
stories.
thing is people have changed their attitude. Suddenly they want to be Arabs. Suddenly they want to eat Arabic food. Suddenly they want to say proudly that they are Palestinian or Egyptian or Jordanian. But it's good.
Yeah.
It makes me happy that they are coming to me to open up that they are Palestinians.
You're not just passionate about the political side, you're also
No.
proud of the culture. I want to end the interview by thanking you for your passion that has made a difference bigger than you know. Even though you've built all these amazing constructions and developments and homes, your biggest legacy is being a proud Palestinian father and a proud Palestinian who has such a courage and powerful voice that other generations, your kids and others, can now follow.
I don't need to be thanked for that. It's an obligation for us to carry the flag and let people know who we are. We are from the land of Galilee, all of it. From Bilad al-Sham to Egypt, we are all one.
Yes, thank you for reminding us.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure. Thank you
Pleasure.
so much, Mohammed.
Thank you.